Today I demonstrate how to speed paint the drone for Nemesis Retaliation using Slapchop. I've received some prototype miniatures for this game from Brian over at the Game Brigade YouTube channel, which has allowed me to paint every character for this game using a couple of different painting styles. So if you would like to see how I painted this miniature using standard acrylic paints and an airbrush, I'll link to that video in the description down below. So let's get started. And welcome to Treehane Miniatures. The prototype miniatures that I received for this game came with Awakened Realm Sundrop wash already on them. This makes for the easiest Slapchop ever. The Sundrop effect means that the dark shading is present in the deep recesses and the raised surfaces have a nice off-white color in place. All that's left for me to do is to use some titanium white to lightly dry brush on the brightest highlight areas. Normally, using titanium white pro acryl for this requires several coats of paint, but since we're starting with such a light colored base layer, one quick coat is all that's needed. I'm starting with the lighter colors for one very specific reason, which I'll get to in a second. I'm being careful with the application of paint, but not too careful. On biological creatures like this, colors can spill over onto other attributes of the body and still look completely natural. You know, like how it happens in nature. However, I don't want to be reckless and haphazardly splash paint all around the miniature. This would not look right. And unlike traditional acrylic paints, you cannot simply paint outside the lines and expect a subsequent darker color to cover it up and rescue you. I'm starting with the lighter colors like pink and the teal, specifically because I intend to paint over these with the darker purple later on. The dark purple will not entirely cover these lighter colors, and some of the pink and teal will show through on the raised surfaces, kind of like an alternate highlight color. This is a feature of speed paints that I stumbled upon unintentionally while painting the ghast for Cthulhu Death May Die. Conventional wisdom told me that painting a dark color over a light color would completely wipe out the lighter color. On that piece, I used a light flesh tone and deliberately painted it over some sporadic fur areas that were going to be painted dark later on. I thought that the darker fur color would cover the lighter flesh color just fine. I was wrong. Learning from this lesson, I'm now using that flaw to my benefit. I want to create a scarab coloration effect on the carapace. I put the teal into place first and then follow it up with the purple. The purple blends seamlessly with the teal just as it would over white. The more raised the surface is, the closer to the original teal it will look. As the purple flows into the recesses, the darker purple it will look. Same thing for the pink that I painted on the drone's shoulders and abdomen. The dark purple can't hide the existence of the pink that's already there. I have to assume that this is a trick that longtime Slapchoppers have been using for ages, but this is the first time that I'm intentionally putting it into practice, and I love the results. You know, you can never really spend too much time painting a miniature. So next I break out my favorite highlight color to add some finishing touches to the miniature. I initially intended to use this just for the teeth, but then I figured I could use it to quickly edge highlight a few features of this alien creature. These edge highlights will add a nice final sheen to the hard components of the creature's exoskeleton like the carapace, gauntlets, and spiky appendages. I also add just a touch of this ice yellow to the pink part of the shoulders to make them look a little wet and shiny. I'd like to thank my channel members for supporting all that I do on this channel. You too can become a channel member and support the channel by clicking on the link in the description down below. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel to join our growing community of painters.